Is there any single element that adds more presence and more coziness to a room than a rock fireplace? In this series, we're going to build just such a fireplace, one that will become the sculptural center of your room. And we're not going to build it with heavy stones or heavy masonry or even contractors. We're going to build it with vertical concrete and methods that will make it a project that anybody can do. Now, an important note, this build was designed for use with electric fireplace logs or LED candles or some other decorative element. Gas and alcohol systems require different codes, fire ratings, ventilation, and professional oversight. That's not what this series teaches, and that's not what this build is for. So please keep that in mind. It's just a special recipe of concrete that's made, as the name would imply, to stick to vertical surfaces. It has more open time. That means there's more time to work with it and sculpt it and get it into the forms that you want it to be. You can add it into thicknesses of up to 3 to 5 inches. With some materials, sometimes even more. And it doesn't crack. It's good for indoor or outdoor use. And it's just an amazing product that I just find a new use for every time I use it. I buy pre-mixed concrete additive products that are made especially for vertical projects. I get those locally or online, and then I add them to just simple Type S mortar mix bags that I get at any hardware store or lumberyard. This is not an unusual product. It's just probably something that you don't think of as being DIY friendly. When you hear concrete, you probably think of mixing trucks, big industrial mixers, driveways, sidewalks, just really heavy industrial labor. We're not doing any of that. I break the system down into manageable parts. The material isn't the barrier, our methods are. And I will teach you methods that make sure that you can do this. I work around lifting heavy bags. I source smaller bags. I never mix full batches, and I avoid working for really long stretches at a time. I've just broken it all down into manageable pieces that make this a doable project for anybody. In this series, I'm going to show you 2 ways of forming these stones. One will be the traditional way of just forming them with the concrete recipe itself. They're concrete all the way through. On the second way is the way I did it on this fireplace. And that is with foam as the form for the rock shapes. And the reason I did that is this is on a second floor, and I felt like I needed to reduce the weight. And by using the foam in addition to the vertical concrete, I was able to reduce the weight of this project by 40%. This fireplace, floor to ceiling, about 6 foot wide and about 12 feet tall, weighs about the same as an upright piano. This is architectural illusion, not structural mass. Now, the solid concrete application that I talked about, I use that on my kitchen walls and my kitchen backsplash and on a feature wall in my husband's office. And yes, the stone backsplash is easy to clean, it's virtually indestructible, and I love it. Now, I'm also using it to cover the exposed concrete on the foundation of our house outside, but that's an ongoing project, so you'll see that in the spring. In this series, I'll teach you about framing, choosing your substrate, whether you use drywall or cement board, the scratch coat, the foam, how to apply it and how to shape it into your stones, primer and bonding agents, the lath, no scary metal lath that you have to use heavy-duty snippers to cut. I found a plastic form that comes on a roll like fabric, and you cut it with scissors, easy peasy. Sculpting your stones, sealing, grouting, adding color, and also about observing nature. You decide what kind of rocks you like because the world is your oyster when it comes to this. The creative possibilities are endless. We'll also talk about some out-of-the-box ideas. You can design this fireplace any way you want it. And of course, we'll talk about safety. I promise, none of this is hard. There are a lot of steps, but really it just comes down to making yourself a checklist and checking off each step. Whether you work with a buddy or you work alone, this is doable. I built this entire fireplace by myself. I had a ball doing it, and I didn't struggle with it at all, I promise. This is not about strength. It's about methods. It's about patience. It's about following the system, and it's about breaking down intimidating steps into simple checklists. If you're curious, I will walk you through every layer, not just the pretty parts. And if you've ever been curious about trying something like this, but thought it was too heavy, too technical, or just too much, this series is for you. I hope you join us.